leading.
Okay.
I say that because I felt like you were taking me down a rabbit hole, so I felt like I was being led. So leading. Well, I think everybody who sees it is gonna see it differently. It kind of plays on your own memories from your own upbringing, but not really your upbringing. It's more like your the style of your own life, and it I think you put yourself in the situations, and then you get surprised by where you end up going in the film. I was on the verge of terror when the torture started because I wasn't sure. The way it was shot, I had a sense that you weren't gonna take me into blood and guts, but I really wasn't sure because it came out of, I just happened out of nowhere to me, sort of, which is not bad. I felt like it was a blend of styles that were coherent. There were parts of it that seemed like they were from the 80s. Some of the effects. I mean, the quality was better than what could be done back then, but the ideas, like the clouds rolling and things like that, and all that went together. But then when there were people in the shots, everything seemed to kind of conform around them, and it was different. It wasn't coherent with the other parts, and that's kind of what I mean when I say each thing was kind of unto itself, its own character, like the train going by, the dam. The shots were often majestic, but when it got to real people, the film just kind of it became more stark and less. It wasn't as grand. The Brief History of Time being featured, I've read that book, and I know that it's a page turner for certain people.
Well, what did you think of A Brief History of Time being in the film and the people reading it? Did that have any meaning for you?
Yeah, it did. It was. I mean, it made the film. That made the film coherent to me, because the film. It felt like you were given some kind of historical relevance to what was going on. Certainly in the truck and the glasses and everything, but and I don't know that the torture was autobiographical or anything like that, but some things go through your mind, and it's like, well, I can't help that. That's happened, and maybe in your mind you were thinking, well, this is how religion makes me feel. I didn't really, the music, and I think this is good, is the music didn't jump out at me or anything like that. It just played along with what was going on. It didn't give me a foreboding sense of something that was going to happen next, or I'm sure if I saw it without the music, it would be very different. What I mean when I say it is, it's just that I didn't notice the music as being something that wasn't part of the film. I'm not exactly sure how to say that.
Okay.
I didn't want to say it didn't stand out, because that's not really what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was very colorful for an opening train sequence, but it did make me think, oh God, this film is going to be about a train. I mean, I guess maybe anybody would think that if a shot goes on for more than 5 seconds, you think, okay, this is what the film's going to be. I just remember the colors of the train,
Okay.
which is kind of something. Usually, the train was clean, which was really surprising to me.
Yeah, especially for New Jersey Transit.
Right. Well, I mean, I know BJ and I heard BJ's voice, and so that kind of influenced the way I thought about the grass. And all of a sudden, I was back working at Center Stage Theater, and BJ was my boss for a few minutes, for a few seconds, until I got through that. And the shots of the grass were very nice. I liked the way it went from more color, and then it kind of got almost like weeds or wheat colored. Let me do my work. I liked that. I mean, it's something you don't think. I've heard that poem before, but at least I think I have. It sounds like something I've heard before.
Yeah.
Oh, it was glorious. I really liked it, and I know that I have a fear of heights myself, and your television kind of gives you a feeling like you're going to fall into it anyway, whether you're looking at grass or looking at the dam. But the dam was so spectacularly shot that I have, like I say, that fear of heights. It plays into it for me. And it's not IMAX, but it felt like I was going to fall into it for a second. And that was what I was conscious of most with the dam.
Good.
It was busy, and it was different than I remember New York. But I was there in like 1987, and I've been back, but not for any length of time. And then I was in Flushing for a little while, and so it was a lot more energetic. The people were energetic, and before I was kind of caught up in the cabs and the lights and stuff like that.
A shot of an old woman in gray hair and pearls pouring chocolate all
Oh
over
yeah,
herself.
yeah, that got a response.
What was that response?
It was. I thought if this was in black and white, that would look just like blood.
Well, do you think it was supposed to represent something?
Decadence. Old people decadence.
Old people decadence. I like that.
Yeah, and the thing I remember most about that is the jump cut to where all the stuff in the background was gone and there was just the American flag. And anytime you see a jump cut, you think for just a split second, oh, it's a mistake. And then you have to watch and say, oh, no, that was on purpose. It didn't feel as scary as what I thought was maybe coming next. I was always thinking about what would be the next thing while I was watching that. And it seemed not out of place, but so different from everything except the woman with the chocolate. I mean, I could kind of see how that fit in with it. And I guess it's just because there were people in those shots that were featured. And the scenes with the two men, I'm just going to jump ahead because I talked about the torture stuff a little bit. The way the kissing was handled, it's just so different to see two men kissing, to watch it. And what struck me is how different it is from watching a man and a woman kiss. It's like women are always saying, "Oh, don't do that, don't." but two guys kissing, it's like all those things that you think the woman is going to really like, the two guys seem to really enjoy. But the women are always like, well, what are you yeah, I didn't get that he died at all. I thought that he woke up. um And I didn't think that was a cop out at all for him to wake up instead of die. Well, I guess if you wanted to put those things together, then you could say he died and went to heaven. But I know you, and I just don't think you would have done that. I think it's just an elation of being, of that elated feeling of waking up from what seemed to be torturing you over a period of time in your dream. That's so real. I mean, when sometimes you dream something and it's so real, it's realer than just being alive. It's okay. Now I remember the scene better. That had a little religious overtone to me because they were lilies, weren't they?
Calla lilies.
Calla lilies, yeah. Which made me think of Easter a little bit, and the whole life, death, rebirth thing. But I don't think he died. Yeah, ESP. That's what I noticed about it. I said, he's sending a subliminal message about ESP now. So anyway, when I saw the guitar and it said ESP, I was trying to think, what are you trying to tell me? But I didn't get it. It was a pretty guitar, though.
Wait, what said ESP?
The guitar says ESP inside the sound hole.
Oh, I didn't know. I'll have to look at that. See, you caught something that I didn't get.
I didn't recognize it, but I recognized being in a plane and shooting the clouds because I've done that before, and it's a great high to do that because it's you don't know what's coming, what the clouds are going to do next because you can't see very far, but it's really so majestic, and the way the clouds kind of roll under the wing, and I liked that. I like clouds a lot.
Okay.
And that's in Los Angeles?
Yes.
Yeah, that's and see, I wouldn't know that except that I got to go to Los Angeles last year, or I wouldn't have recognized it probably, except for Interstate 5.
But what did you think of that? Anything?
Well, I always liked those kind of shots. It was pretty though. I mean, there was a little bit of mountains in there. There's a little more to it than Paris Mountain. Running up Highway 25, it's definitely got a grander feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all glitched up. That was strange. I didn't. It was kind of like a Manet painting a little bit. It's just, it was tiles. It was like it was a VCR maybe or something, and it was having tracking problems, or it got kind of technical for me at that point.
Okay.
In that moment, I was just kind of riding the film.
Okay.
I remember that from when I was a kid, and by that time I was kind of worn out. I mean, not in a bad way, in a good way, but I was like, when I was saying, it was just kind of washing over me with the surfers and that's kind of where I was with the smokestacks, and then the train came back again. it was a dreamy film. I got
And there were
self-conscious. Watch some of the shots were so long. I got self-conscious thinking, I need to be thinking. I need something interesting that I'll be able to tell Phil about this shot. Just a couple of times I got to that point when the shot was particularly long. I don't put things into words very well, especially when I'm over medicated. But
You certainly can.
yes, I definitely can. When I'm under medicated, I can talk all day. And my memory is superb.
We should do that at some point. Just go take your meds for a few days and then watch it again and then I'll record it.
Oh, wow. But it doesn't, not being able to remember, it's like a dream though. I mean, when you have a dream, you don't remember it, but you remember the feeling of it, even though you can't remember exactly what happened.